How's it going? I think the last video we did, it was a tour of the RV, talking about some of the things we like, some of the things we don't. We've been camping in it a few times and still kind of making it our own. There were a few things that we needed to fix on it, nothing too major. Well, there is actually one thing I've been working on that I wouldn't consider it major, but it definitely needs to be fixed. I'll save that for another day. I'm still kind of working on that one to get it dialed in. But anyways, another issue I found was with our freshwater tank, and it's when we fill it up. And if you've ever filled up your freshwater tank, you know, it can take a while, especially when you're dry camping. We happen to have a solution where I have a 35-gallon tank in my truck, and what I use is like a transfer pump to pump it from the truck to the freshwater tank. But anyways, as I filled the fresh tank, it takes forever. And it was burping and splashing out water, and I think I would get to maybe about 5 gallons, and I'd have to pause and let it kind of gurgle down. It was a really bizarre issue, and I really couldn't find a whole lot of information about it. And so anyways, I decided to do a video on that because I was able to track it down. And some RVs are different, but the way ours is set up, it's over near the storage compartments. And our last one was on the side of the RV. Of course, a lot of them are somewhere near the side. But this was pretty easy, at least to look at the venting hose, which is really kind of where the problem was at. But as I was filming that, I was more focused on doing the work, and so I felt like I needed to at least give it a bit of an introduction to set it up. So anyways, this is the video of me working on the RV and dealing with that problem. So you'll get to see me working on it and kind of see how I did the repair. But hopefully this helps someone else out, because it was a really annoying problem for me. And if you're new to camping, maybe you're filling up your freshwater tank wondering if it's normal. It's not. And you should be able to fill that freshwater tank up pretty much as fast as you can dish it out. Anyways, here's the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks. I'm working on the freshwater fill issue. So what I was dealing with is when you fill up the freshwater, it would gurgle. I wish I would have recorded some video, but this thing has really annoyed me. So a lot of RVs will come out right here, some of the newer ones. Now my old one, when the RV was filled, it would come out on the underneath side. I had some overflow lines that would just come out, and that was kind of awesome. I mean, you had to look underneath of it when you were filling it, but I never had issues. I could put water in here as fast as it would take it. This one, it's a 51-gallon tank, and our last one was only 36, and so I was pretty excited to know that this was 51 gallons. But here's the issue. When I was filling it, I was thinking maybe somebody did something funky to this thing, like maybe put some stuff in there. You know, I didn't know what was going on underneath the RV. I thought maybe there was a problem with the fresh water. So really there's only a couple of things that could be an issue. One is either I forget what the actual term is, I'll put it on the screen. But basically this is your breather tube, and if you look on the inside, it comes out right here. All RVs is going to have some sort of an extra cable that goes to your freshwater tank to help it breathe, basically when you're filling it up, because it needs to breathe. But what was happening, it was burping. So I would be able to fill it, and I would get about 15 gallons, and I would have to pull it out, and water would come shooting out of it. It would kind of gurgle, and I'd have to basically babysit the thing. And I was like, man, what the heck is going on with this thing? So through process of elimination, the other issue would be is this right here could have a kink in it. That's what I was hoping it was. Well, let me take that back. I was kind of hoping it was, and hoping it wasn't. I was hoping it was going to be easy. So anyways, I'm going to show you what's going on underneath. All right. So I have that hose, and right here it is. You can see this hose. I apologize for the noises and whatnot. So that breathing tube that I showed you up above is right here. I've cut it off, but it was kinked badly, and so it could not breathe. And right there's where it comes out. Now I've had to turn it, and I'll put on screen what it looked like before. I mean, it had a kink in there so bad that it just could not breathe. And so now I need to find a way to get this on there so it could actually breathe. The thing is, it needs to be unobstructed and it needs to kind of go up. You don't want it to go down and then up, because you could end up in the same situation. The problem is if you see how close that is to my lining, see this lining? I mean, there's basically no room. So it's just a bit of a kind of a design flaw that they didn't leave a lot of room there. And I'll see if I can get that angle. If I turn it, the problem is it hits here. So I thought, well, maybe what I could do is just take this off, take it to a hardware store, and maybe find one that comes out a little further to give me more room, to give me the proper angle to shoot it back, you know, the other way, to go up underneath. So I really haven't figured out what I'm going to do quite yet. I might get an attachment here that comes out that's like a hard 45, or kind of an angle, so that way it can't kink. Because the issue is when you put it on here, it's going to kink, and so you need something a little bit stronger. I already have the PEX tools to put this back on, so that part's easy. But anyways, that's the issue. Once I fix this and it can breathe, it's going to be able to fill up like a normal freshwater tank should. But anyways, if you're dealing with something like that where you got gurgling, usually it's one of two or maybe three things. It could be an unlevel RV, likely not the issue, because I've just not seen that. I've been on some pretty bad situations. Or that hole that I told you is kind of clogged. It could be bugs that got in there, or who knows, dirt. In that case, you could just kind of blow it out with a hose. The third one is this, which is more likely the issue. You've got a kink somewhere like I had. And if that's the case, hopefully it's easy to fix. Mine is looking a little bit like a pain, but it will be worth it once it fixes it. Anyways, just wanted to show that. At least it's not anything major where I got to drop the tank. I really don't like doing this kind of stuff, but it's necessary. It's part of RV ownership. All right, so I've got this freshwater breather tube, whatever you call that thing, all buttoned back up, and so I'm going to show you now. It's filling up like it should. So I have not stopped once. Sorry for the angle. Over 32 gallons, and it's not stopped once. Thankfully no leaks, but hopefully you can see that okay. I had to remove this completely. This was a 90-degree elbow, and then I had to cut it with a Dremel to get it off. I couldn't turn it off because this was in the way, so I had to take it off. Then I went to a plumbing store and got some standard PEX fittings, and I had this at home. And so basically I had to create this to go out beyond here, and I created all these PEX fittings on the outside of the RV first, because there's no way to get your PEX tool up in here. It's just too tight. And then I used I used a 90-degree angle and went up somewhat behind there, but it's all safe. It shouldn't be pinching anything now, but that's how I solved it. And she's a happy camper now. Rather, I'm a happy camper, because when we boondock or camp without water hookups, this is pretty important. So 51 gallons is quite a bit of water, and it would take forever to fill this up if that thing couldn't breathe right. So here we go. Oh, she's full. That's what I would expect, but I think she might be full. Yeah, there's water in there. So before, it would gurgle and the water would have to go down. I was able to fill that a heck of a lot faster than I was before when I had that issue. I mean, I bet it took about 45 minutes, maybe not quite an hour, but it took at least 45 minutes for that thing when it was gurgling. It was pretty bad. Anyways, I hope this helps somebody else, because that was frustrating. Have a good one until next time.